Is knowledge truly power? That is a question that I'm asking you today. And my answer to this, and I think it's the bitter truth, which a lot of people cannot really handle, it is that knowledge is not actually power in the way you think. Rather, knowledge is power only when you know how to use it and apply it. Let me give you a few examples for you to get a bigger picture. Let's say that you know everything about cooking, let's say, and you read tons of books and everything, but you never actually went to the kitchen to cook. But you did so much research, you try, and you get all this information, but you never went to cook a freaking egg, you know? So having knowledge is kind of useless until you actually go out there, you know, and try to show your experience to the world or to yourself, whatever, you know. And the way I like to see it is why I think this is important. Because let me give you another example, really good, actually, it's an analogy that I came up with. Picture a chessboard, and you have, as you all know, the pawn, the king, queen, all these figures. And let's compare, for example, the pawn and the queen. Queen is the most powerful one, I think, right there. I don't really play chess, but it's a really good analogy I came up with. And so now you are the queen, and you have all this, no, of course this is just an analogy, you have all this knowledge, and you know how to do this, you know, you researched all about the chess, the gameplay, the strategies, and you simply do not move. You do not move from a place that you are because you have just the knowledge and you haven't really ever moved. And for example, the pawn is never did any research, he just moved. The pawn just simply boldly, rarely moved. And the queen is just stuck there, you know. So my question to you is, are you the pawn in this game or are you the queen? Or even a better question is not who are you, but are you making the moves? So you can have all the power and the position in this world, but if you're not making the moves, you will not move, you know, you will stay in the same place that you are. To make my message more clear, there's a person A, B, and C. The person A knows everything about chess. The person B is completely knows nothing about chess. The person C has all the books and has all the options to grab and to learn, has a chessboard, but never does it. So all these persons, like the person who has knowledge, the person who has not the knowledge, has nothing, a person who has everything but is not using it, they're all at the end of the day, they're all in the same place. I mean, they're not in the same position, as I mentioned to you right now, again with the chessboard analogy. They're not like you are both the queen and the pawn. It doesn't really matter if you're not using your position. And even if your position is weak, as the pawn's is, I mean, don't get me wrong, everybody has their own place in life and you advance as the time comes, of course. You're not forever the pawn or forever the queen, but you get my point. That's not the point I'm trying to make now, I went too far. But the actual point I'm trying to make is maybe you even have a position that is good, but you kind of get in this position that, I mean, not a position, but in a situation, you get yourself involved in this situation that you end up, even with a good position that you have, you're not using it. So it's a talent that you have, knowledge or whatever it is, a skill, you're just not using it. I'm not saying you are not, but you know, there's a lot of people who have or have not books on themselves or knowledge in their mind, or they don't even have nothing. They have no books. They have no. I know all of these persons that I mentioned to you. I know all of these kind of persons who have the options, who are wise, who have the knowledge, or even people who are simply not. They're just playing video games. They're not really educating themselves. But at the end of the day, they're all in the same position because they're not taking any action, not using their position, not making moves. So you have to make moves in order to move. Obviously, it's hard to accept it, but we are all having different positions in life, and we are all in different situations. But at the end of the day, if you're not making the moves, you're not making the chessboard move, then you're just gonna stay in the same place. No matter if you're king, you can maybe think that you're the queen, or you maybe think you're the pawn. You're maybe the pawn and you think you're the queen, and you're maybe the queen and you think you're the pawn. So your ego might be too big or your ego might be too small, I would say. But at the end of the day, the truth is the truth. So you have to advance every single day and to make moves every single day. It doesn't really matter who are you. Just the important thing is that you're moving. If you're not moving, don't get me wrong, of course, sometimes you have to take a step back. You don't have to always hustle, grind, work, But some things, we have to accept and have to work on them. And that is like, okay, maybe I'm playing too much video games. I should maybe cut that off. Or maybe, I have this idea in my mind and I'm not really working on it. Maybe I should do this video now. Or I should write this thing, or I don't know, practice this guitar. I don't know what it is, but something that you want. Maybe you don't know what it is, but as I said, just make those steps. To not even think so much about it. People are stuck in this analysis paralysis, as I heard about it, and some people are not really analyzing that much. They're not even thinking. They're just going like a zombie through life and scrolling through their phones, playing video games, and watching TV series, movies, reality shows, whatever it is that you're doing, that people are doing. But at the end of the day, I believe that we all have something to work. We should be having something to work on, because we're gonna end up in the 9 to 5, and we all probably should have dreams, in my opinion. We all should strive to get something in our life, to get our life in order. But if you just, you're just too much consuming content, you're too much consuming food, as I said, you're staying in one place, and you might think too highly of yourself or too low of yourself, and you maybe deserve to think highly of yourself. Maybe you have the knowledge, as I said, maybe you absorb the knowledge, maybe you read all the books, maybe you have all the books, or maybe you have not. But at the end of the day, if you are in the same place as all these three kind of persons I mentioned, the A, B, and C, because you just simply haven't made the move. So I don't want to get this video too longer and get too annoying to you, but I think you get the point I'm trying to make. So yeah, this is all I have for you today. I hope that you're doing well and that you will be doing well, and I believe you will. So don't make me believe in you more than you do in yourself. And God bless you. And I believe that we all have the same potential with the different ways of expressing it. So find that way.